Hello, and welcome to Weed and Grub.
Couple of tour dates very quickly. This Thursday, March 30th, I'm recording my very first comedy special, 2 shows, 7:30 and 9:45. Producer Mark is becoming director Mark. Mary Jane is going to be there. The 31st at Bar Lubitsch doing Jetpack Comedy. April 19th at the Comedy Store, Glazer's After Party. And then on 4/20, the highest of holidays, we are doing a Weed and Grub Live, giveaways, stand-up, prizes, all at the Ice House in Pasadena. I think the link for that will probably go up at the beginning of April. So 4/20, come through and do a Weed and Grub hang.
Wild and woolly.
Wild and woolly. Also, Mary Jane.
Yes.
Archie's not here.
No, Archie is not here. I'm leaving that guy at home. He's just nervous right now. He's just been having a hard time with all the rains and stuff. And yeah, we had a couple of adventures outside this weekend finally when the sun came out. But I was just telling you before we got on the podcast, I wanted to do some spring cleaning. The sun is out, demud my house because of all the rain that I've been tracking with my boots and stuff. And Archie's dog bed was part of that spring cleaning. Here he is on his lovely, extravagant gift I gave him for Christmas. This dog bed cost more than $100.
It did?
It did. It's so much money, but I just loved the way it looked. And I was like, I'm going to get him a beautiful dog bed. And so I went to wash it this weekend, and that thing is dry clean only.
That's bullshit.
The fuck makes dry clean only dog beds?
They roll in deer scat.
That is the most West Hollywood fucking Richie rich shit I've ever heard. Tail waggers, what are you doing? I put it in my Instagram story and someone else wrote it and they were like, yeah, I bought a hand wash only harness. Fuck my life.
That's insane. Have you ever seen the Simpsons where Homer shaves completely freshly shaved and then he waits 5 seconds and then his beard just pops up again? Yeah, that's how I feel it would be if you cleaned that dog bed and then Archie just got back on it. It would be filthy right away.
He's the pig pen of terriers. He's like a gross little smelly mess. I love him so much, but he does smell like dead fish and Fritos.
Mm-hmm.
And
he loves that. He hates water. He hates baths. He loves his scent.
Baths. Yeah, bathing that dog. He cries like a baby. Like he sounds like a tormented infant when I try and get him wet. So yeah, he's just gonna keep on keeping on his stinky old dog bed. And then Bobo the cat has his own weird bed right now, and he's incontinent because he's 1,000 years old. And so between the two of them, my animal beds are like 2 little festering pits of grossness. It's real nice when you come over.
Yeah. Well, wait, I don't even know what dry clean is. I know it's I'm sure there's been a million stand-up bits about it, but I truly have no idea what it is. And I will not buy anything that is dry clean only because I don't need to give myself errands to run.
Right. And also who has dry cleaning money in this day and age?
I don't know. How much does it cost? $1,000?
I don't have $7.99 for every time I wear that shirt. Are you kidding? I'm
going to get a double Tito's on the rocks before I go dry clean a dog bed.
I definitely don't have dry clean my dog bed money. That's crazy. If you have staff, if you have a dry clean only dog bed and you can pay to have that done, you've got an entire fucking staff on hand to just run your life for you. That's a Gwyneth Paltrow level. By the way, have you been watching any of her insane trial in Utah? I know this is the second time we've spoken about Gwyneth Paltrow on this podcast in the past 2 weeks, but she's on trial right now because she slammed into some guy on a ski slope and he's suing her for lost fucking lifestyle or whatever. And it's the trial is so funny. It's basically just a lawyer complimenting her hair.
I've seen those clips where she's like, oh, those heels, where are those heels from?
Oh, how tall are you? 5'11". Oh, wow. You're so tall and beautiful. It's fantastic. Anyway, no, I don't have that kind of money. And no, I can't dry clean Archie's dog bed.
Yeah. What does it say? How did this
inconvenience you? Oh, well, we lost half a day of skiing. That's what Gwyneth said happened to her.
She lost half a day?
She lost half a day of skiing.
What?
Yeah, it was a real travesty.
The first half or the second half?
I imagine the second half.
Oh gosh, that's the time you want to be skiing too.
Terrible.
During the afternoon before
Yeah.
dinner where
I
you have more
know.
wine.
Oh, poor thing.
Oh my God, but
Anyway,
she
the
was
guy
okay.
who's suing her is she's fine. It's the guy who's suing her who's obviously like having a moment. Speaking of guys having moments, I want to get to some of the comments on my latest sandwich video, but first,
What up, Mary Jane?
how's it going, Mike?
Awesome. Welcome to Weed and Grub, everyone. This is a podcast about comedy,
Cannabis,
cooking,
culture,
calling shit out,
and crazy comments.
crazy comments,
And much more too, because this is like a birthday pod. This is we got a bunch of stuff to
There's
talk
a
about.
pretty intense cream corner coming up
Yeah.
at the end of this one.
That's right.
So
Very
yeah,
special buds of the week.
very special buds.
Real quick, I just wanted to say, so I'm posting these sandwich videos where I'm making sandwiches and talking about sexism on at It's the Mayo for Me on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, and I'm trying to just put them everywhere. I put them on Facebook for some people who I guess are just old. And the YouTube comments on my latest one, so I posted one today. I thought it was totally innocuous. It was like a "please don't walk behind women at night" sandwich. That was it. It was like, last night I was walking Archie. I had a guy come up behind me. It kind of freaked me out. I had to like pull over and let him pass. And I was like, guys, if you're walking behind a woman at night, just know that she's going to feel anxious and maybe don't do that if you can possibly help it. Like maybe cross the street. That would just be nice. The bros are going crazy in the YouTube comments. This one, I'm just going to read a couple. Evan Cross 4296 says, "How you feel is your responsibility. I will walk where I damn well please." Joxy74 says, "How about not adjusting anything due to the fact that I don't care how you feel? I need to get home, lady." Another one, "I'm not crossing anywhere if you feel that uncomfortable with another person walking behind you, possibly going home. It's literally nothing to do with you, except maybe you should cross the street, or how about step to the side so you're behind them, the fuck."
Which you said you did.
Which I said I did. The bros are stressed about these sandwich videos. and
What's
it
your
is
comeback on that shit? Because
Nothing. I don't engage.
well,
Shut up.
Yeah, no, yes, right. I know you're not going to engage with them because then they're looking to debate with you at every time. But
Right.
but right here, right now, what is your thought on your feelings are not my responsibility? You cross the street, you do all those things when they say that kind of shit.
Well, the thing is, I think a lot of dudes have no idea that women feel this anxiety when someone is behind them on the street. Like, I remember the first time I spoke to you about it a long time ago now, and you were like, "Oh, wow, I hadn't really thought about that, but that's interesting."
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you sort of maybe saw it differently, and you saw it through my eyes, where if I'm walking alone at night and there's a guy behind me, there's a a real fear that he could, be someone who is not going to, want to do good to me.
Right.
Not to put too fine a point on it, but there's a lot of like assault statistics where women experience fucking harm at men's hands, and so I do feel that fear. I have been attacked in my life, just like out in the world, and so I just wanted to make a little PSA for guys to be like, hey, just maybe think about it. And the fact that these guys are so pissed that I would even like just try to let them know that maybe they should sort of like consider other people's experience in the world. It's just wild to me. Like, we're just in this wild time where men are just so fucking upset about women trying to tell them anything. And I think it's just a symptom of this insane intranet-y crazed time that we live in, where they can leave all these comments and, express themselves.
I have a theory about that internet-y kind of place that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way that if I were to write a joke on something like that, you might not know it's a joke because you can't tell the context of it from reading it.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I think that the internet is erasing empathy.
Yeah.
In a very like tactile way, because if you say, because when everything can be attacked and picked apart and angled on for you to seem like a weak, selfish idiot, like there's no room for nuance and empathy anymore. So you either have to go full bore at a 10 and call you a stupid cunt, or you have to say, wow, I never thought about that. Thanks. Right. And there's no in between.
Exactly.
Right?
You're so right. There was one guy in the comments who was like, "Please stop calling us monsters." And I was like, bro, I don't know how you extrapolated that from me saying, please consider the fact that if you're walking behind a woman, she might feel scared, but like go off, I guess. But he was truly at a 10 immediately. He was like, feeling super fucking attacked by the fact that I had made this sandwich video. So I don't know. It's just interesting. It's an ongoing thing, and I'm really interested in how the people who are showing up in the comments on these videos are sort of like bringing the feast to the table. Because like half of my videos at this point are just reactions to the people who are saying insane shit.
Yeah, except that they get like 100,000 views sometimes.
Yeah, it's been nice. So
it's been pretty wild to watch. I think the other part of it is like with this TikTok hearing going on.
Oh my goodness.
Where I cannot wait for TikTok to get banned. It has to get banned.
I think you're super wrong.
It is shaping our culture into a bunch of like people who are following dances, getting stupider, and clout chasing at extreme levels where there's no room for just like normal humanity. You have to just do weird, fucked up, crazy shit or follow the leader in hopes of clout chasing all the time. And there's just no fucking breath. There's no room for anything else. And so when it comes to like comments like those, all I can think is, yeah, the only way to cut through the chatter of all of these channels and all of these places is to either yell and scream or mukbang 16 subs while trying to play the tuba. Like, there's nothing, there's no in between for like real humanity.
It's so funny because I wildly disagree with you. And I feel like normally I would totally be on your side about that. But there are a few things. First off, like the people who are going to benefit from TikTok being banned are not the American people. The people who will be benefiting from it are big companies like Meta, Facebook and Instagram, obviously. And also it's attached to a bill that's called the Restrict Bill that would actually allow them to surveil the American government to surveil citizens rather than this, TikTok Chinese app.
Why are they leaving that out? How come they're not sharing that with me?
I know, it's crazy. And I only know about this because someone just DM'd me a TikTok about it where there was a girl who was like, listen, we need to be paying attention to what's really going on. I know very, very little about it. I will put the TikTok in the link because she goes through the actual bill and she lists like, here are the ways that they're going to be able to keep tabs on our information, movements, medical history, devices, bank statements, all of this kind of stuff. And it's called Restrict. And that is what is actually going through for TikTok to be banned. And also a ton of small business owners rely on TikTok in order to get their stuff out. That's like the most affordable way for them to build a quick following and then be able to sell their products to people as they're marketing it through TikTok. So like, I'm actually not in favor of it being banned. Of course, like shit needs to be adjusted. And I hate the fact that they can log every keystroke and, keep tabs on us, but I don't think it should be banned. And yes, of course it's a sickness that we're all like staring at these machines all the time, but that's not app specific. You know what I mean?
No, it's not app specific.
Yeah.
I could go on a tangent about that, about all the times we've almost been in accidents that weren't our fault. And then as the accident was happening, they're still looking at their phone.
Yo.
Yeah. Okay. So 2 of those come to mind, and then I'll get back to TikTok. The first one is when we were walking your dog Archie, when he was not on his dog bed. And, and that woman had that massive pit bull on a thin leash. It may as well have been a helium balloon string attached to a muscly pit bull, and she's staring at her phone with her thin bird arms, and the pit bull sees Archie and charges at him, drags her across the street, and she couldn't stop the dog from dragging her, but she's still looking at her phone and swiping videos as the dog is barking and chasing Archie. And I was like, look up from your phone. And she didn't look up once. The dog, she just yanked the dog and then kept walking and kept staring at her phone. It was so weird.
It is weird. It's like a zombie move when they just can't pull their eyes away from the screen.
And the second time we were walking Archie, maybe this is Archie's fault. Maybe he's the one to blame.
He's the common denominator.
Yeah, was and then there was a man walking his tiny dog across the street, and 2 men in a big SUV rolled the stop sign, making a U-turn. The driver was looking down at his phone while rolling a stop sign and making a U-turn, was inches from running over that man and his dog, and then yelled at the man and the dog in a panicked fashion, like, look out, what are you doing? And we were all like, get off your phone. And he still had his phone in his hand, and it was still up in front of his eyes as he was yelling at the man he almost ran over.
Yeah.
So anyway, ban TikTok. I also, but now you're making me think that we're going to be siloed off from the rest of the world, and we already are in so many ways.
Well, I mean, yeah,
so
America
like,
is definitely siloed off in every way. I think if you leave this country and you look at it from the outside, you understand that we are, it's really a crazy situation here.
But there's no jobs. The best you can do to have a job anymore is to get famous. or like eat sandwiches in your car. Like, you know that the economy's in a bad place when we are talking about we need more doors to escape guns, and people are trying to get famous for eating sandwiches in their cars. Like, we are not in a great place.
That's not economical. That's societal.
Okay,
I think you're like
societal.
conflating a bunch of stuff. Like the jobs market is actually doing better than it was. And like it's doing better currently than it was a couple of years ago. Obviously, COVID was a fucking disaster. People being on their phones is a problem. Gun control is a problem. But like you're throwing a bunch of shit into a big basket and saying it's all the same and it's all the economy. It's not.
Well, Mary Jane, that's why I'm running for politician. I'm going to say a lot of things at once, confuse you, and whichever ones you agree with, pick those ones out.
It's the word salad for me.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, I was in a relationship with someone a long time ago who was very successful at arguing because he would literally throw everything in the kitchen sink at me. And then I would try and cherry pick which ridiculous thing to respond to. And it would always be the wrong thing. And he'd be like, no, you fucking idiot. I was actually talking about this. And I was like, it was like fighting a monster made of fucking like Jello. It was crazy. It was like you could never figure out where to. And he was anyway. So like,
I have a very loose idea for a TV show.
The 1 million things all at once is a very successful way of shutting people down. It's like overwhelm them with like. In fact, a lot of these YouTube bro comments are like just crazy screeds about like, shut up, you dumb cunt. Where are the statistics? All of this. And anyway, in my day, and women should be drafted too. And, you know, hashtag fucking Trump derangement syndrome. And it's just like, yo, what? Okay, I'm tired. I gotta go lie down.
The other ones I love is like, I agree with this, but what about? And then they try and move it into a topic that they want to talk about.
Definitely.
And you're like, what? You should make your own sandwich about that.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Go ahead.
I had one guy say, I had posted, I don't even remember what the sandwich video was. And anyway, there was like a debate raging in the comments. And I commented and he goes, oh, welcome to the conversation, little miss. It's the mayo for me. And I was like, welcome to the conversation. You're in the comments on my video. What are you talking about? Welcome to the conversation. And then today I had a guy call me Little Miss Sandwich Moron. And I was like, this is amazing. It's amazing. Anyway, that's a lot of rambling all over the place about sandwich videos and social media, but it's, you know,
you got a lot of 13-year-olds going on 60 in your comments.
Yeah, big mad bros.
So I have a TV show idea, and then we can start finally talking about my birthday.
Okay.
It's called Algo.
Okay.
And it's where you look at people's algorithms before going on dates with them. Because when you were just talking about your algorithm for YouTube and how it's all brown noise and narcissism therapy.
Yeah. It's recovering from narcissistic abuse and brown noise for sleep. It's so funny.
And mine is like how to make a French fry in sneakers. And so it's just like, yeah, Mark says this is a great idea. And so I think there'd be a great dating show where you just only see people's algorithms and explore pages and keyword searches.
Oh, I love that.
And then that's how you match up and you think you know who they are, and then you have a blind date.
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah?
Let's pitch it.
Boom.
Jesus.
Okay.
Write a one sheet. Get it over to fucking your management. What are you squinting at?
Mark, please make the words bigger.
Mine is golden retrievers and stand-up comedy, he says.
Oh, so that's a great algorithm. Stand-up and golden retrievers, this guy's a catch.
And I remember we talked to Gabrus about it one time, and he was saying that his was all like female bodybuilders and lifeguards.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fantastic. What a great idea. Mine truly is, it's brown noise, recovering from narcissistic abuse, and dog TV, which I leave on for Archie and Bobo.
Right.
You know, because I'm a sucker.
All right. Well, Algo coming to Discovery Plus 2024.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. All right.
Are we talking birthday stuff?
Let's get into it, please.
Let's do it.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. First, we do have to celebrate you.
Thank you.
Because I'm going to talk for a bit longer about my birthday because I brought in some stories to tell about.
Oh, good. I can't wait.
Cops and things like that.
Oh, God. Cops on birthdays.
First, you started your fellowship today, Mary Jane. You are a college girl.
I am a college girl. Thank you very much. I started my cannabis media fellowship at the University of Vermont, and I'm delighted to be taking part in the cohort for 2023. just started today. I logged into my learning management system and watched a couple of video tutorials, and then I'm getting going, and I'm really excited. I legitimately looked at the syllabus and was like, wow, this is no joke. We have assignments, we have a big presentation at the end, so I'll be updating you. I don't know if people on the podcast are going to want to hear about it, but it's fun and cool, and I'm already learning stuff. Like just today we started with the history of cannabis, and it went back to like the fact that it's been cultivated by humans for 10 to 12,000 years.
Oh, wow.
And it gave a timeline of all of the, like, when it was first discovered as a sacrament was about 5,000 years ago in Romania. And, when it came to the Americas, and just like really learning about the journey of the plant through human history. I've already learned a ton just today. So it's super interesting. So
That's
thanks.
very cool. And to tie that into some other news that happened today, I will say it because I don't think you would say it about yourself, but because you write about very big topics for places like Rolling Stone and Vox, like when Biden was doing his cannabis legislation, like you wrote the explainer for Vox. When you do things for Rolling Stone, it is like a big story about Russian billionaires in cannabis. These big things that I think a deep, deep knowledge in a media fellowship like this will help. On the other side of it, though, smaller places like Leafly are shutting down their journalism centers completely.
Oh, yeah. It's so crazy. That just came out in Weed Week News today that Leafly is shutting down its journalism arm, which is a real shame because I've written there for a while, and I really love David Downs and Bruce Barcott, who head up the Leafly editorial arm. And David Bienenstock, our friend Bean, writes for them as well. And they've got just like great writers on the beat covering important subjects in cannabis. So it's disappointing to hear that Leafly has chosen to shut down the journalism arm at a time when we need more, not less journalism. And it's just, yeah, it's a crazy time in media.
I think I would tie it back into TikTok and everything, though, that we're talking about now, because as much as I like to maybe read about like terps or the cannabinoid system, it's those big splashy hooks that are the only things that people seem to be interested in
Not
anymore.
true.
You would disagree with that?
Absolutely disagree. Yeah, 100%. There's a need now for more cannabis business coverage for people who are getting into the industry, not just for like, clicky headlines about like, traditional market businesses getting busted or whatever, but like truly like knowledge about the industry and about analytics from places like Headset, which is an amazing firm that does incredible data research into the cannabis industry and all of that kind of stuff. There's a huge need for business reporting. There's a huge need for reporting on states as they come online and state and federal cannabis policy. Like we need more of it. And I don't think that it's because people don't want to read about it. It's just, I think Leafly is a tech startup.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, they're a cannabis company that's interested in like getting revenue through publishing their like strain descriptions and doing dispensary listings, much like Weed Maps, right? Like it's a platform for people to find cannabis products. First and foremost, fundamentally, that's why they were started. But they've had this great news arm for a long time. So I'm disappointed to hear that they're shutting it down.
Well, it's great to hear that you are doing this, and congratulations.
Thank you.
It's also great to hear because sometimes recently I've been getting very disheartened, feeling like people don't care about weed and the weed industry, and it's on such a downturn with stocks and prices and businesses that everyone's like, well, that was a fun experiment. Who gives a shit? Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
And I feel like there was so much wonderful momentum behind it, and now it's like people like think it's corny or something. I'm not sure what the pulse is, but the pulse has changed recently for me,
I think
and it's a bummer.
It's because it's largely in crisis at the federal level because they haven't regulated it federally, and at the state level because state run programs are tanking because of overtaxation and like terrible permitting, just regulations in general, and everyone's exhausted. So it's like legal cannabis in this country has been a total mess, and I think people are just kind of feeling tired. So maybe that's what you're feeling, is like a little bit of exhaustion.
I think so.
Yeah.
And there's also so much more, at least on my pages, there's a lot of different type of infighting than it used to be. It used to be a lot of infighting about how we should do this and how we should do it right, and what we need to do, and this big business can't do this and people in jail have to do that. And it's gone from that kind of like, we all want the same thing and we all want the best, so we're all just going to fight for what we think the best ideas are,
right,
to now there's a lot of like, see, told you so, look at how messed up everything is. And that's such a defeatist bullshit attitude and
Yeah.
approach to take, and it bums me out.
Yeah, it is a bummer. Weed beef is a big bummer. I think, it was Elise McDonough, I think, who said it first. She was the first one that I heard say it's when it transformed from a movement into an industry that we really lost our way.
Yeah.
Like we were all working and pushing in one direction because we wanted to all be able to benefit from the plant as a medicine, as a sacrament, as a ritual, as something that we all enjoy without going to jail and make money off it. It was like pretty simple. Everyone was like pushing in one direction. And then, corporations moved in and government moved in and just they're not doing a good job.
Well, that's why we have to push legislation through at a higher level, with a lot of lobbyists and co-defendants all working together for the greater executive order.
Are you trying?
Within
is this a word salad?
within the systematic restraints of our current climate
policy word salad. Stop! I don't know how to fight it. Yeah. Let's talk about your birthday.
Amen. Yeah.
Okay.
Or whatever I'm supposed to say at the end of those.
Yeah. A woman.
Where's my burner account to comment on that? My birthday.
Oh yeah, we got some birthday pics coming.
So
okay,
I wanted to throw this picture of me on a horse up because
for anybody who's not watching our YouTube, you can actually check all of this out. We have video now at Petty Cash Studios, thanks to producer Mark, and you can look at these beautiful photos.
I forgot the time that we were talking about it, but when there was a petting zoo in my front yard and I was on a horse and I said we would drop it in the Instagram, and I forgot. So I just wanted to throw a little horse party pic.
You're very large on that small.
Too big for that poor horse.
I think it's a pony.
Oh God, that's even worse.
I think that's a definition of a pony.
A small horse is a pony, right?
I think so.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pony then, because my feet are almost on the ground.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, that poor thing.
Your feet are even with its like back forelegs. It's definitely, but you look happy.
All right, hey, moving on. I'm trying to run for office. That's going to burn me.
Okay.
There he
what's
is.
this? Little Mike?
Yeah, my mom sent me some kid pics, and some of these really made me laugh, and I thought they'd be fun topics because I love what I wanted to be growing up more than anything was a movie special effects makeup artist.
Awesome.
I wanted to learn how to shoot blood, in that Kurt Russell movie, The Thing, when the head falls off and the little like thing climbs out. I wanted to do that for the rest of my life. And so I would always beg my mom on Halloween to do all of my makeup. And I was always the Wolfman and Dracula. But I was curious, for all of our listeners, and you included, how many parents, when they would do Halloween makeup, would leave a raccoon skin space around the eyes because they were so scared to get makeup in the eyes. And I was like, Mom, you gotta cover the whole thing. I'm just gonna look like a man. And she's like, no, I don't want to get the makeup near your eyes. And so like I always had this huge gap there. And I was curious if anyone else had that gap growing up.
That's good momming.
I don't think so.
Taking care of your peepers.
I don't think so.
I think that was good momming.
No, I would put it in the eye if it made it look cooler.
I basically had it in my eyes, so
yeah,
I was like definitely like fake blood and makeup and glued into my eyes like I had multiple eye infections. So,
okay. Thanks, Wendy. In that case, I stand corrected.
Wendy saved your eyes, and I had really disgusting pussy pink eye. So.
Ew.
Not so great. What else you got?
I don't know. I don't know what else is in here. What's next? Oh, just a hockey pic from high school. I wanted to show my bleach blonde hair and my rope necklace.
And you're like super jock face.
Super jock face.
Like you were such a jock.
Oh yeah. Very serious jock.
Wow.
Nervous jock.
A nervous jock.
Anxiety ridden, introverted jock.
How you and I don't think we would have liked each other.
I would have hated you.
You would have hated me.
I would have hated you.
Wow.
Yep.
You say that with such alacrity and confidence.
I would have hated you. I would have been intimidated by you.
Okay.
I would have thought you were really funny, but I would have hated you.
Why would you have hated me? My goodness.
You're too book smart. You care about details, and I care about being funny. And but
you just said I was funny.
Right. That's the other problem. It's like, not only are you correcting my comedy, but you're also funny. And also, as the hockey goalie,
yeah,
and me just like wanting to make out with cheerleaders or anybody who might think that I'm cool for being a hockey goalie, even though I'm like the roly-poly kid on the team. And I don't think you would have liked my fake bravado and kind of trying to be an alpha, but so obviously overcompensating in so many ways. I think you would have
Wow.
seen through me in a way that would have made me hate you.
Wowzers, cadowzers. I can say that you look 100% like all of the guys who were on the water polo team when I played water polo that I like didn't like because they were fucking mean to me and they would like throw balls at my head when I walked poolside.
Mhm.
But also like low key, they were all trying to hook up with me.
Mhm.
And like I thought they were hot. Like look at you, you're hot in this picture.
Thanks.
It's like a fucking great picture, but also like, yeah, there's just that weird war of like, you can't be nice to the people that you actually want to hook up with. You just got to be like aggressive
Yes.
in that
Yeah.
high school way.
100%.
Yeah,
And
I
this is
remember
also
those
right
times.
before I had a Chavo from System of a Down style goatee.
Oh
Because
God.
like puberty hit pretty late for me.
Nope.
And so while everyone else was like a man, I got like a wispy mustache, and all of a sudden a goatee came in, and I was like, boom, I'm a goatee guy now. And I just had like a Chavo fucking goat.
There's one person in the world who can rock that, and it is Chavo.
Ah!
One person who rocks it so hard.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, so you would have hated me too. Yeah.
I don't think I would have hated you. I think I would have felt about you like I felt about all those guys on the water polo team, where I was like, if they would just give me a chance, we would all be friends. But like, I just had to defend myself against their aggression. So I honestly had a really bad habit of kicking guys in the balls.
Yeah.
I developed
That sucks for all of us. I
It
wouldn't.
sucks.
Yeah.
It's like because like it was the thing that I knew how to do to assert myself as someone who was like, don't fuck with me. I will kick you right square in the nuts. Didn't make me look good. It made me look weird and aggressive when in fact I was responding to their aggression. Like I remember there was this,
Yeah, but that's such a bitch move.
it's what, a bitch move to kick a guy in the balls? Absolutely. I'm not defending it.
Okay.
I'm not saying that it was cool or that I thought it was fun. Like that was how aggressive I felt like I needed to be to assert myself because I played on the men's team.
Right.
I played on the all girls team for a long time. And then that kind of disbanded when all the girls went off to college and I was the only one left and there was no team for me to play on. So I played with the dudes and they were like fucking brutal to me.
Yeah.
Like truly brutal. Underwater and poolside. Like they were just like physically, it was tough for me to defend myself. So I would kick them in the nuts every chance I got.
That's so fucked up.
I know.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm sorry to all of those guys.
Yeah. Especially, were they in Speedos at the time too? So it's all like cupped in there in a perfect target.
Yeah.
Oh God. There's like no shiftability.
No.
Wow, Mary Jane. Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I made a name for myself.
What was it?
Yeah, I don't know. I had a few. I don't remember what they used to call me. Probably something really bad that I never heard. But
We don't need to start it up again.
Yeah, let's not.
Oh man.
But that's how we would have gotten along at that age. It was like you would have said something mean to me, and I would have kicked you in the balls.
Uh-huh. And because my voice hadn't cracked yet, you just can't even hear it. It's so high pitched.
All right.
What's next?
I don't know.
Oh, just some wolves.
Little Mike Glazer was a cutie pie.
I think my grandma painted the Pluto behind me
I love
too.
that Pluto is amazing, and whatever it is that you have as your Wolfman fingers are so fucking cool.
Oh, those are did you have arcades growing up for tickets, and like you could go to an arcade and win a bunch of tickets and get like a nerd's rope and stuff like that?
No, I had like a video games arcade that I went to, but not the kind of arcade you're talking about.
Yeah, like a Dave and Buster's.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, there was one in St. Louis right by the Funny Bone called Aladdin's Castle, and all those fingers were from playing skee ball and stuff
And you would
like
win
that.
them like one at a time?
Yeah, one at a time. I would win a finger at a time.
You're so cute.
And I would
Awesome.
hide in my family's closet because that werewolf glows in the dark, and I would hide for hours until someone finally opened the closet, and then I would scare them.
That's great.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Also, hours. I'm talking hours.
Yeah, the long game, huh?
Yeah. And then until they
Awesome.
wonder where he is,
Yeah.
and then a wolf jumps out,
So scary.
kills you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Scary little guy.
Yeah, and then my mom would kick me in the balls. Okay. So I had a story I wanted to tell and get your take on it.
Okay.
What's next, Mark? Oh, that's some good comedy.
Yeah, good socks.
Socks on the ears?
Yeah, that's
How
great.
funny is that?
It's fantastic.
I bet you if on my special I did that today, I think it would get an applause break.
Listen, there's nothing funnier than putting socks on your ears.
Oh,
My
so
dad
good.
used to put my mom's pantyhose on his head and chase me around the house pretending he was a giant squid. And it's like one of my favorite memories of childhood.
That's very funny.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good comedy.
Good fucking comedy.
Mhm,
Socks on the ears.
Mhm.
Boom. Okay.
Maybe that should be the title of your album. Socks on my ears.
With that picture?
You'd sell out. Revamp your special, Mike.
Oh man. And then I close with that.
Yeah, you just take off your socks, put them on your ears, and say, "Good night, everyone." Or maybe you take your pants off and then you've also got a sock
on my cock.
on your cock.
And then maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. It went from great to great. Okay. So the story is, next slide, Mark, please. Thank you for this. So
what are we looking at here?
We're looking at
someone fucking
a cop stripper fucking a gun.
Okay. What show is this from?
I don't know.
Okay.
It was like, this is my algorithm. Do you want to date me?
You just found a gif of a stripper cop having sex with a gun. Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, Mark, we can go to the next one just so that it's not crazy. There we go. Is that better for you?
Yeah, that's hot. Hey, look at those. He's got those washboard. What do you call them? Cum gutters.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah, washboard ad with a cum gutter on the side.
Yeah.
Totally.
Hot.
Well, actually, I have a question about that before I get to my story. Does that mean he nuts on himself? Is he shooting his own loads on his own gutters?
I don't know how that works.
I mean, if you're with another man, of course, that's where the gutter goes.
Mm-hmm.
But women, don't they come inside?
I'm not going to explain how women come to you right now, but
Mark, will you Google the keywords "women inside"?
If you're squirting, then but that's not really thought of as cum. I don't know. This is too gross for me.
It's too gross for you?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. Well, Mark looked up the etymology really quick.
Cum gutters by analogy with an actual gutter on an occasion when a person ejaculates on their sex partners or their own navel and the semen flows along the pelvic lines.
Got it.
For anyone who wanted to know.
Great.
You came to Weed and Grub for it. You got it. All right.
So we need to revamp our intro. Comedy, cannabis, cooking, culture, calling shit out.
And cum gutters. Fantastic.
So what happened? I can't remember if I was 13, 14, 15, or 16.
Jesus, that's such a wide spread, dude.
It is. But I'm going to land in the 14 age.
Okay, you were 14.
Because I was smoking weed. No, I started smoking at 13. I was smoking weed at 14. And we had a restaurant called Krieger's in St. Louis, Missouri that had the best chicken tenders and seasoned fries I'd ever had in my life. I still think about those seasoned fries. And the honey mustard has a little bit of a spice to it. Ooh, it's so good. And so my parents were like, where do you want your birthday to be? And so I said, Krieger's. And so I had like, say 6 to 8 of my friends. We were all upstairs at Krieger's Pub and Grill. The seasoned fries are coming out. We're just getting platters of chicken fingers and burgers and all this stuff. And I'm pretty high. My family is there. My friends are there. And a cop walks up the stairs up to our little event space at the top of the restaurant. And I freeze because he goes, is Michael Glazer here? I said, what are you talking about? I'm like, put my head down. I'm pretty stoned. My girlfriend is there at the time.
Oh, you had a girlfriend?
Yeah, a little 14-year-old girlfriend.
Her name?
Her name was Renee.
Renee.
Yeah.
Ah.
Renee Crabtree.
Really?
Yeah, she was sweet.
What a great name.
My first girlfriend.
That's so sweet.
My first date with her was getting caramel milkshakes at Dairy Queen.
Ooh, good first date.
Yeah, my parents sat across the thing because I can't drive.
Right.
Yeah. And
so they drove you there and you guys got shakes?
Well, and we got larges, which was a real treat.
What a flex.
Yeah, right?
Dude.
Yeah.
You had some game. Okay, so you're holding hands with Renee.
Uh-huh. And so the cop goes, is Michael Glazer here? And I go, I don't say anything. And my parents go, yeah, what's going on? And they played this whole thing. And the cop comes up to me and goes, you're Michael Glazer? And I go, yeah. And he pulls out a handcuff. And he says, can I see your hand, please? And I hand him my hand. And he handcuffs me to the chair at Krieger's in front of everyone. And I go, and he was like, you're in big trouble. And I go, what are you talking about? And then a big black man with a boombox comes upstairs, hits play on some dance music, and it's a stripper cop. And my parents start cracking up. And they're like, we got you, we got you. And this cop dances around the table of all of us, and he doesn't really take off his shirt the same way you would like a real stripper, but he like dances around and flexes his muscles and like dances in front of all of the adults, and he like dances on me a little bit without touching me, and my parents and all the parents are like laughing and laughing and laughing, and I want to die. I'm looking for ways to kill myself, and and the whole thing was a prank that they got on video of hiring a stripper cop to pretend I was getting arrested for weed to, 1, get me to quit smoking weed and scare me straight, and 2, as a prank in front of, as a birthday prank. And then he unhandcuffed me, my parents paid him, and he left. And then they brought out the cake to sing happy birthday to me to make a wish.
It hurts my soul how is your relationship with your parents immediately following that? Were you like not speaking to them?
Nope.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would have been so pissed. How did your friends react? Did they think it was funny?
No, they didn't understand it, and they thought it was just
It just
really
sounds like
weird.
this went really wrong and
Also,
kind of backfired, right?
I'm also going to be very honest about a 14-year-old dude growing up in St. Louis, who is struggling to figure out puberty and his sexual identity.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh my God, like I love my friend, but does that mean I like love my friend?
Oh, yeah.
You know, like
Sure.
it's weird to try and figure out, am I gay? Am I straight? And then to have a male stripper cop on my birthday come up there, and now
When you're
I'm
a
like,
teen.
and I'm like, oh my God, all my friends are going to think I'm gay. And also I'm having questions in my head about
Mhm.
like what I'm attracted to, the whole thing. And I'll stop there for a moment. But
Okay.
like, that's the first thing about it. Was so
Was the
fucking crazy.
guy with the boombox it was two people.
I'm
There
sorry.
was-
I thought this would be funnier, and now it's like therapy. We don't have to talk about this. I apologize if it's too much.
Is the guy with the boombox a different guy from the cop?
Yes.
There's two people.
Yes.
This is a two-person. This is a fucking team that showed up to fuck with you on your birthday.
Yeah.
Were they laughing?
Yeah.
Were they were having a good
They
time?
were having a great time. The adults were all having a wonderful time.
Okay, so it sounds like it wasn't that much of a backfire. It just like embarrassed the children, which is, half of what fucking parents are doing to their teenagers all the time anyway.
Like if that were to be on camera today and go on TikTok,
Yeah.
it would go viral.
Yeah.
It would
people
have
love
20
that.
million views, and they would be like, ah ha ha, and people would be like, I bet the mom got it for her secretly, and all that
Exactly.
kind
Like
of shit.
people love humiliating children.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
terrible.
Right.
But yeah, kudos to your parents for doing their job as parents of a teenage boy, I guess. It sounds like,
So
again, good parenting.
it was, yeah. And the two things that happened after it that do make me laugh in hindsight is my best friend at the time, one of my best friends, Brandon Dodds
Uh-huh.
is his name. When we did gifts, he had gone and bought Motion Lotion, which is like a passion fruit flavored sex lube, because
Okay.
I had a girlfriend and he thought it would be real funny.
Jesus.
And then everybody was like, oh, is that for you and the cop? Ooh, is that for you and the cop? And I'm just like, where's the weed? Where is the weed?
Wowzers, cadowzers. This sounds like a very successful and sex-crazy birthday celebration of your teenage self.
It was a horny time at Krieger's.
Wow. Well,
Secondly,
okay.
I'm trying to step through the process, and maybe I'll have to ask my parents sometime, but they looked up stripper cops,
Uh-huh.
found one, said, hey, would you like to do a birthday party?
Mm-hmm.
And the cop was like, absolutely. Great.
Great.
Okay, he's 14.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
They didn't tell him.
You don't think he told him?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm sure they just said,
like
show up at Krieger's. We'll be upstairs. Ask for Mike Glazer.
Okay,
That's-
because
yeah.
I was like, was it more money? Was he like, yeah, I would do it for 200, but now let's make it 5?
They definitely. You should just ask. I want to know. Ask your parents if they gave him any information.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure they probably just said, show up at Krieger's. We'll be upstairs.
Right.
Look for Mike.
Look for Mike.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I'm sure that like if I were a stripper hired to perform at a teenager's birthday, like no wonder he didn't take off his shirt and he just kind of like danced around the table and I'm sure he probably came prepared to get down to his chonies and like clap his cheeks in your face, and he was like, oh, a literal child. Let me adjust my routine.
Oh, you think he was going to do a lot more crowd work?
Hell yes. And he was like, oh no, it's children. Let me keep this PG.
Well, I'm already on a list. What?
I would love to also track down that stripper cop today.
Yes.
However many years later, and be like, what was that like for you?
Yeah.
Awkward as hell, I imagine.
Yeah.
You know?
He got back in the car with his buddy and was like,
Holy shit.
oh, we're never speaking about this again, right?
Yeah, sweating bullets. They're like, we could be arrested for this. This is crazy. We got conned into performing for underage. Like, I mean, especially in today's fucking climate in 2023, the way that Republicans are like always screaming about like fucking children being sex trafficked and stuff, like that would go viral for all the wrong reasons and people might end up in jail.
100%.
Yo. Wild.
So, one day it'll be a bit,
Mhm.
but we
And
are
guess
not
what I
there
got you
yet.
for your birthday, Mike?
Well, speaking of cops, that brings us to our news.
Wait, real quick
Yeah.
about cops and birthdays. Remember when my mom called the cop on me for my birthday?
I do.
2 years ago?
I do.
Yeah, I didn't call my mom back in time on my birthday, and she called the literal cops She is
So
pretty
your YouTube
amazing at
algorithm's about
mobilizing.
narcissism.
Yeah. I will say one thing for my mother. She is incredibly successful at mobilizing law enforcement when she needs to. I don't know how they believe her that they actually need to get in touch with me, but I truly got a call from the police to say, call your mom. And I was like, that is amazing. Judy Gibson, she's fucking powerful.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. The cop is like, yes, I will.
Yeah.
Your mom is worried about you.
Yeah, please call your mother. She is, anyway. But yeah, so the Grub Gazette is also about cops. Our story this week, we have a little video, is that Afroman, the beloved artist, had his home raided by cops who were trying to bust him for weed and drug paraphernalia, found nothing, fucking like destroyed a bunch of his stuff, took a bunch of his money, and then later when he actually got the money back after they were like, we're not going to file any charges because we didn't find anything, there was money missing. So then he used surveillance video from that raid to create a whole new fucking body of work, and he's made, I think, 2 songs out of it now. And the cops who fucking raided his home and invaded his privacy are suing Afroman for invasion of privacy. The hypocrisy. It's delicious. It's a feast. It's fucking crazy.
That is so wild.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. It's he is like, of course, like making a meal out of it. It's so funny. He has released Lemon Pound Cake, which is one song. And yeah, I'm just looking at it here. He's the plaintiffs, evidently the cops, say that his music videos have caused them emotional distress, embarrassment, ridicule, loss of reputation, and humiliation.
Oh no!
They're claiming
you invaded a place and didn't find anything.
Oh, you raided someone and now
you're humiliated.
It's just incredible. So the lawsuit names him, Afroman, his recording firm, and a media distribution company as defendants. In an Instagram post, Afroman vowed to countersue for the undeniable damage this had on my client's family, career, and property. And we'll put the link to the track in the show notes because it's just fucking worth checking out. And like how wonderful that he would like just use that video from them, you know, raiding his home in an illegal search, which turned nothing up, to turn it into art.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
That is the, I maybe it's stupid to say, but that is my favorite type of internet, is weaponized against Big Brother internet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like the way that Greta clapped back at Andrew Tate.
Yes.
The way that Afroman is like, yo, you came and
I'm gonna
fucked
own
up
you.
and I'm gonna own you for it. The way Killer Mike like gets on and just does a live stream about BLM and is like mic drop on it. Like I love the weaponization of the internet against Big Brother. That is my favorite shit. So fuck yes, Afroman. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a police raid on his Ohio home last year, used in his music videos, and now the cops are sad.
Also, I think isn't Nest cameras and all of those things, if it's on your property, it's legally your like you're allowed to do with that footage, right?
He owns this footage. They raided his house. He caught them on footage. They disconnected his video cameras, but he still has surveillance footage. And now they're claiming that he's invading their privacy. La, 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 la. What else do we have today?
We have 2 big things.
Okay.
One of them is something that I told you I would talk to you about here on the pod.
Yeah.
Because you were like, hey, Joel Hadley is back in town from his tours over in the East.
Yes, his travels all around.
And you were like, let's all go get dinner and hear about his travels, celebrate your birthday. And you had made a reservation at Petite Trois, which is a Michelin starred chef Ludo Lefebvre and Sam Knuckles, friend of the show, friend in real life, and delicious, crazy French food. And I was like, no, I'm looking for a healthier option. You know, I'm recording in 2 days. Like, I don't want to just eat a bunch of butter, French, salt, meat, cheese,
and I was
drips.
like, fair enough, man. Let's go get some sushi, or like we'll do some clean eating. That'll be great.
So I think I have a picture of the burger. It's $36. Oh, there's Leafly. We already talked about that. Sorry. So that's their $36 French burger.
That's at Petit Trois.
At Petit Trois. It's just like perfectly ground, gooey,
gorgeous.
Like look at the sauce that runs through it onto the plate.
I would have loved to have that for your birthday.
And you
but
take
you were
a
like,
fry.
No, I'm gonna do healthy.
I'm doing healthy.
Okay.
And so today I reached out to other guest and friend on the show and friend in real life, Greer Glassman, who's the GM at She Spaka, Nancy Silverton's restaurant, and
Mhm.
she got us a table for 3 at Shispaka,
Great.
and she is setting aside a bone marrow pot pie for us
I mean, listen.
with beef cheeks
that
and a
sounds
bone stuck
like
in
the
it.
cleanest of eating, the lowest of fats, the healthiest of healthy. I imagine it's high fiber.
Well, it's high fiber. Here's the picture of the bone marrow pie.
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay.
Oh, well,
I mean,
it's good enough.
you've talked about this bone marrow.
It's
pot
my favorite.
pie.
It's my top 3 dishes of all time.
I'm so excited, but please do not pretend that this was the healthy alternative to eating a petit trois. That is so infuriating. When you're like, yeah, petit trois sounds great, but like, oh, I'm recording my show and I just want to look good and feel good, so I was thinking of clean eating. You then suggested tatsu, which is not healthy.
Ramen is healthy.
Ramen is not healthy.
Ramen is healthy.
Ramen is. Have you ever put ramen in the fridge and let it get cold? It is a bowl of fat.
No, that's because the broth is thick.
It's literally a slice of pork belly with like salty ass noodles. It is a fucking egg. That shit is not healthy for you. You cannot argue with me that ramen is healthy.
Chicken
it is
soup.
delicious and it is good for your soul. And sometimes it is the best comfort food you can have, which is healthy because you're taking care of yourself. But it is not healthy, like clean eating. Like I want to feel good for my special and feel like thin and have my skin look dewy. It is not. And then you made this reservation at Shispaka and I was like, okay, bro, listen, we can do whatever you want. It's your birthday, but please don't pretend that this is a healthy alternative.
So
It's infuriating.
ramen has bean sprouts in it, healthy. It has garlic in it, healthy. It has spice in it, healthy. It has like water and chicken broth, which is basically chicken noodle
It's
soup.
usually pork broth, I think. At least the one that you're eating. If you're going to Tatsu and you're getting that bold ramen,
Yeah.
that's pork.
Okay, so it's a pork broth, which is basically like pork noodle soup.
Mm-hmm.
And the noodles are healthy because they're handmade, hand pulled.
3,000 calories.
You really think so?
Yes, I know so, bro.
I'm not being like I'm not going to get spring rolls on my birthday. You're out of your mind.
I don't expect you to get anything other than exactly what you want. I'm just saying that ramen is not a low-fat, healthy
Look, Mary
option.
Jane, I didn't want... Look, ramen, 188 calories per serving.
That's like top ramen,
Boom.
dude, not Tatsu's bold
boom.
ramen.
A
That is
typical bowl
insane.
of ramen, 188 calories.
How many?
Ramen is so healthy for you.
No.
Yes, one serving, 88 calories,
Absolutely
188
not.
calories.
This is insane.
Look it up.
Look it up with all of the accoutrements, with the pork belly and the broth and the egg and all of the stuff. Yeah, most ramen from restaurants is
450. Whoa,
Is
she
ramen
won't even read
unhealthy?
it. She won't even read it. Wow.
Tatsu ramen. I know that it is not low fat. I have put a bowl of that in my fridge and it is congealed into pure fat.
I'm looking right here, 450 to 600 calories from most ramen in restaurants
How
in Japan.
many calories in a bowl of tonkatsu ramen starts out at 900 calories? Starts out at 900 calories.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, but you said 3,000.
Well, you know, I get to use hyperbole too.
I didn't want to go to Petit Trois.
I know. Just don't pretend that
I'm
you're
a health
choosing
freak.
a different place because it's a healthy choice. And also, you're not the only one who's allowed to employ hyperbole on this podcast. I don't always have to be fact-based.
Here's my panic. Oh, I like that. Yeah, come over to the dark side.
Yeah.
Come over here
A
where
bowl
the
of tonkatsu
lying
ramen
happens.
is 1 million calories. And it goes right to your hips.
My split was in thinking tomorrow, and I didn't want to say it to you because you were so nice to make that res. Is I didn't want to go see John Wick in the afternoon, maybe have a couple beers at the Grove in the beer garden, go see John Wick, eat a big thing of popcorn because it's a 3-hour movie and I'm gonna be high. And John Wick with popcorn is a great way to spend an afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, go to Petit Trois and eat some escargot and eat some like French omelet and some fries and that sloppy burger. It just made me feel like I was going to like stand up and just shit my pants. And
so
then
instead, we're
feel
going to
sick
have
the next day.
Bone marrow pot pie, which is going to be much better for you.
Yes.
Okay, great. We'll see how your pants look after your birthday dinner tomorrow night. But I'm excited to celebrate with you and stoked to burn one at my place, walk to the Grove, and see John Wick with you and Joel.
Hell yeah.
It'll
Also,
be so
hey,
fun.
Mark, can you look up how many calories bone marrow pot pie is? Because I think bone marrow is healthy. And I think beef cheeks are healthy too, because it's made with the cheek. It's shredded beef cheek on the inside.
I think pot pie is one of the highest calorie things that you can put in your body. Yes, all that pastry and butter. And then the sauce has like all of that richness in it. And then the bone marrow, I don't think it's like bad for you. I think it's a healthy choice in many ways, but it's like not low calorie. It's not like clean eating.
6 calories.
Okay, this is crazy. You guys are conspiring against me. We
I'm
got to wrap this baby up. We got to do a cream corner and get out of here.
All right, fine.
That wasn't our cream corner.
All I'm saying is, because we're gonna go eat tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll take some bone marrow vid.
Yes.
And we'll throw it on the Instagram and TikTok while it's still around.
We sure will.
Of this bone marrow pot pie.
Yeah.
It is truly one of the best things I've ever eaten in my life.
I'm so excited to have it.
So freaking excited.
I will house a huge glass of red wine and dive into it.
Great.
It'd be great.
Okay, cream corner. You got another beef. You have other beef.
My beef is, well, I guess actually that was cream corner because cream corner should be about delicious things. And
these are my cum gutters. What about yours?
I'm not talking about cum gutters. I'm talking about cream corner because I don't want to say cum gutters. Cum gutters. I want to stop saying cum gutters. I've said it like 16 times now. One last time. Cum gutters. No. My beef is just with Trader Joe's dairy products because 3 times now I have bought half and half from Trader Joe's, checked the sell-by date, checked the expiration date, whatever, and it has gone bad in my fridge, which is not at a bad temperature. My fridge is nice and cold. 3 times before, like several days before the expiration date.
What are you getting there usually?
Half and half.
Half and half.
Yeah, I've done both the organic half and half and the regular half and half. It has happened with both, and I just want to say that 3 times, like I'm never buying dairy from Trader Joe's again.
That's such a bummer.
It is a bummer
because
it's a treat. Like buying half and half is like an extra kind of like grocery treat that I give myself.
Even Mark says it's trash.
Meat and dairy at TJ's is trash. Wow, Mark. Yeah,
it is trash.
I agree. I love all of their like packaged, sort of dry goods and like bulk goods and frozen goods and stuff. But like, I'm not going to buy meat or dairy at TJ's anymore.
Do you think it's low grade in pretty packaging? Do you think it's lipstick on a pig?
I think they're lying about when they fucking, are packaging it. I think that they're putting the wrong date on the thing because it keeps going bad. And I'm like, this is crazy. I feel like milk is usually good for long after the date on the package.
I feel comfortable up to a week after.
Yeah.
And with a sniff test, I might go 10 days.
Definitely. If I put the milk, it doesn't matter what the date says. If I put it into my coffee and it doesn't curdle, I'll drink it if it smells okay.
Right.
So fuck you, Trader Joe's.
Yeah, it really is like it's. I mean, to tie it into weed a little bit, it's kind of how I will look at a package that speaks to me because it has like a cool street fashion off-white kind of design, and then you get it and it's just the worst mids in the world, and you're like, oh my gosh, your marketing is out of control, but your product sucks.
It's also like the smokability of weed, by looking at it and smelling it, not by whatever fucking date is arbitrarily on the package because of state law meow meows. Like sometimes I'll buy weed that'll like be kind of like on the verge of expiration in the jar, and sometimes something will last way beyond. And the only way you can really tell is because you use your nose. So
where do you get your cream?
Honestly, I hate Whole Foods, but I've been having to go there because it's the closest to me because I kind of walk everywhere in my neighborhood. Maybe I'll go to Sprouts. They seem wildly overpriced. I need new options. I need a local. I wish we lived in an era when there were local grocers where you could just get, like, my parents used to shop at this little place called Belbin's in St. John's, and they knew the butcher and they like knew everyone who worked there and they knew the people who owned the place. And are you looking for the next picture?
Yeah.
And it was like really cool to have, there's Greer, who is the GM at Chispaca.
Yeah. Next one.
Oh, there's the fucking Trader Joe's segment. I don't know. We're working on this video component. We're not quite on top of it.
I'm excited to have it. So that's where your family shops.
So my family, they had like a tab at Belbin's, and my mom would just like call in the grocery order and then go in and pick it up. And it was great. And I just felt like, and especially like if you ever had anything that went off, you could like return it. And I feel like I also don't necessarily feel like I could do that with TJ's, although I'm sure I could.
You absolutely could. But also that's another trip on a bummer tip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Another trip on a bummer tip, right? Yeah. So
wait, have you ever done farmers market, which I know is probably comparable in price to a Whole Foods or something at this point, but like, do farmer market dairy products keep? I've never had them, so I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's better or worse.
If I could afford to shop at a farmer's market all the time, I absolutely would, because it's buying from small purveyors and everything is going to be fresh.
Yeah.
But I just don't have that kind of money, and also I don't know if the farmer's market that's nearest me actually has things like half and half. I would definitely buy my meat there. Fresh produce, for sure.
I always picture a enormous warehouse with just a massive pile of all the types of food, all the slop, all the meats, all the veg, and it's just in a pile, and conveyor belts go away from it to Aldi, to Ralph's, to Trader Joe's, to Whole Foods, but it's the same shit pile of shit food. And it just goes out into all of those different conveyor belts with different packaging and different price points, but it's all the same poor quality at the end of the day. That's
just
really
what
how
you
I
think.
picture it. That's how I picture it.
Yeah.
Because like, I remember like, I can't remember what grocery chain it is, but one of them is like Vaughn's, John's, Jewel, and it's just a bunch of conglomerates, and they're all at different price points. But I'm not buying that the half and half is all from different purveyors unless it's regional. Like otherwise, I find it hard to believe it's not all just being bought from some big tanker truck.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess I don't know.
I do.
Okay. Great.
That's why you got to vote for me.
I don't. Okay.
No, but I don't. But what about a place like a
I will say Smart and Final.
Oh, okay.
I've been going to Smart and Final lately because it is across from Trader Joe's and it's really good for big items like bulk, like trash bags or dish soap. And I've noticed that like the produce section there is pretty great. The prices aren't like super crazy low, but they're lower than like a Ralph's or a Vaughn's, and they're comparable kind of to a Trader Joe's. And I always just hated the name. I was like, what's up with the Smart and Final? Didn't I say this to you recently that I learned that Smart and Final is actually, it's the two people who started the chain?
Yeah.
It was like Eugene Smart and Harry Final or whatever.
So much better than the Final Solution,
right?
Which is what you felt it was.
Yeah, it isn't just like anything Smart and Final, just crazy.
Yeah,
but
where
yeah,
instead of the Quaker Oat Man, it's a little Adolf Hitler on the granola.
What?
Final Solution.
I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, instead of the Quaker Oat Man, it's a Adolf Hitler on the granola package.
Okay.
And you still don't like it? Final Solution?
Nope.
So the half and half.
I think that's all I have to say about it.
Well, I guess
wrap it up with a Hitler joke.
Final joke. I guess my only other thing is when you have half and half, do you use it for anything besides coffee? And how much coffee do you drink? Because I would also push for the idea that maybe they need to make smaller sizes of things like half and half because nobody's making whipped cream every day.
I'm just buying one of the little ones. What is that, a pint?
Yeah.
I'm buying a pint at a time and it's lasting me a week. And just last night I used it to make some Trader Joe's mac and cheese.
Yum, but bummer.
What's a bummer?
That it's not keeping.
Oh, well now I'm not buying. Yeah.
Yeah, because like a pint isn't that much.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just me. I'm not like splashing around in cream. I'm just using it in my coffee in the morning, like 2 cups in the morning.
Would you give any to Bobo?
No. He's a cream boy and he would love that, but he's currently on a restricted prescription kidney diet with Miralax for his pooping and then his pill and his little ham and cream cheese pinwheel. Like it's a very specific diet.
That is
his
cute.
Old man diet.
I know we have to get to Buds of the Week, but very quickly, I also want to commend you on to get your cat to take its pill. The evolution has gone from sneak it in the food to a little bit of cream cheese on your finger to now you are making him sliced deli pinwheels to hide it inside. The man is in a retirement home of dreams.
He truly, it's so funny when he's on his little like throne with his little space heater that I bought him to bake his old bones because he was feeling chilly with all the rain. And he kept spitting out his pill. I mean, this guy's lived a long ass time because he knows when a foreign object is in his food.
Yeah.
And so, I was giving it to him in the dab of cream cheese. And now I've discovered that he spits that out. So if I put the pill in cream cheese to stick it to the inside of a ham piece and then I wrap the ham up, he can only smell the ham and he does eat that. And it's pretty awesome. I feel pretty sneaky.
I don't have the parallel lines yet, but there's something beautiful about you doing It's the Mayo for Me sandwiches about feminism and just like dudes not walking behind you and scaring you.
Mm-hmm.
And then also taking care of this old man by making him pinwheel sandwiches for his pill. Like you really have like a lot of different sandwich empathy areas covered.
I totally thank you. And like I'm a nice person and a caring person. I'm not like out here like some of the dudes are like, why is she complaining and whining? I'm like, I'm actually just trying to have conversations about this kind of stuff. So like, thank you for seeing it as more than those dudes do, which is like, I'm just trying to like open up topics of conversation that we can all talk about. Like, you know, women can learn things too. Like I just made a fucking sandwich video today about the conservative women in the GOP who shut down an initiative to give free period products to students in Idaho. And it's conservative women who are the fucking problem a lot of the time.
Whoa.
So I'm not just saying it's like dudes who need to wake the fuck up.
Wow. I had no idea about that.
Yeah.
All right. Tune in tomorrow.
Sucks.
Dang. All right, so we need to get the cream on track
Mhm.
and dudes on track and
Yep.
GOP women on track.
Yep.
All right.
And ixnay on the Hitler jokes. Hey.
Fuck, man. I know we're not going to edit this one because tomorrow is going to be a fun day of celebrating, but I could lift that.
Just because I didn't lob it back to you. That's all. Let's do our buds of the week and get out of here, man.
Okay. I know you still have school. Do you want me to go first or second?
You go first.
My bud of the week this week is me. I don't care. It's my birthday. My sneakers came. I'm doing my first special. I'm so excited. I'm slightly nervous. I feel ready. And I just, there are just certain times when you got to be like, yo, I got to do the thing and harness it, grab it, whip it around, throw it against the wall, smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh no. So I'm my bud of the week this week.
That's amazing. Did you just describe what you want to happen to you on your birthday?
Oh yeah, I'm doing a dungeon at midnight.
Yeah, if I just follow that as a roadmap, it sounds like a pretty good time.
Yeah, when you open my instructions,
yeah,
like my little IKEA instructions,
tie it up, smack it into the wall, flip it, rub it down, smack it.
Oh no!
Okay. Awesome. My bud of the week this week is you.
Hey.
It's a double bud of the week because it's your birthday. You are recording your special. And we are coming up on our anniversary of, I think, 5 years of this podcast. I can't even believe it, but I just had a memory pop up in my feed today that was from one of our earliest episodes that was like, hey, it was someone who was like, I'm making muffins and listening to Weed and Grub. And it said 5 years ago. And it just blew my mind because COVID made time go crazy. And I don't know when anything was. But you're my bud of the week because this is my favorite thing to do. I love hanging with you. I'm so happy to celebrate you tomorrow and get high and go see John Wick and go eat insane bone marrow pot pie and then come to both tapings of your specials on Thursday to support and fucking hoot and holler. And I don't know. That's it, man. You're my bud of the week at Glazer Boo-hoo-hoo on all socials. And you've got a couple of TikToks too at Glazer Jokes and at Glazer Comedy.
Glazer Food, where
Glazer
I just like
Food and Glazer
review food.
So yeah, everyone follow Mike. Check out everything he's doing all the time. He's the fucking greatest.
Damn, Mary Jane. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
With that, follow us at Weed and Grub. Leave a review. Leave a 5-star thing on iTunes. Leave a 5-star thing on Spotify.
It helps us so much. Thank you for everyone who's done so already.
We are, I think, like 13 followers away from beating Bert Kreischer out for his spot. So we're coming for you, Bert. Our TikTok is at Mike and Mary Jane. One of us wants it to be there forever. The other of us says, get rid of it. And am I forgetting anything else?
Email us at wg@weedandgrub.com if you have ideas or things that you want us to talk about or questions or pictures of weed or food or pets or whisks.
Yeah. We need some
Hot
whisks.
whisks. Love a whisk pick.
Oh, and the very last thing is here in studio, now that we're in this new space and we have video and pictures and we'll get that continually dialed in, but we are also going to start playing with live streaming these episodes as we do them. I think this one's live streaming right now, right? On YouTube. So on Twitch.
Yeah.
So we're doing that too. So if you want to join us on Mondays, I think we're going to start live streaming these before we drop them on Wednesdays.
Yeah, come hang out and ask us questions in real time and watch us try to answer them.
And laugh at my Hitler jokes.
Oh my God. Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.